Good morning. I love Passover for so many reasons. And one of the reasons I love Passover is because there are so many possibilities about the way to observe Passover. For example, I think most of you know, even the foods that one is permitted to eat are subject to some debate. Ashkenazic Jews don't eat kitniot, don't eat legumes, don't eat rice, don't eat things like that. Sephardic Jews do. That's just one example of the kind of debates that we tend to have around what we should do during Passover. And if you read the Talmud, there are numerous and voluminous debates about other issues, about how to conduct a Seder, about what should be the appropriate prayers, all kinds of things. Well, when it comes to counting the Omer, and we're in the period of the Omer right now, there too, there's a lot of debates. The reason, the Omer is the period between Passover and Shavuot. It is 7 weeks, and on the 50th day is Shavuot. But what's unclear is when exactly do you start counting the Omer? It turns out that the Torah isn't particularly clear. Now, it's traditional among Jews today that we begin on the second day of Passover, but that wasn't always the case. And without going into the detail about how many different opinions there were about when we should actually start this, the bottom line is that everybody believed in the Torah commandment, which is in this week's portion and more, that we should in fact count the Omer, and everybody understood that it should be a 7-week period. Other than that, when exactly the counting should start is a little bit unclear. So various Jewish groups were able to make their own decisions about the best way to do, about the best way to count the Omer. What's important is less when you start counting than when you end after a period of 7 weeks, and when you observe Shavuot, which is on the 50th day, which in today's world is set and codified, so we don't have to debate about it. But the lesson we learn is that it's the intention that counts in many cases. And the Torah must have understood this because the Torah wasn't specific about when to start. So the Torah was more interested in that you do the counting rather than when you start the counting. And this has become kind of one of the central ideas of the Omer in general. During the Omer, people will set different intentions. People will think about, they will decide, I'm going to focus this year during the Omer on self-care. I'm going to focus this year on repairing my relations with other folks, with members of my family, etc. So it's not so much specifically what you do, it's the intention behind what you do during the Omer. So this is the 24th day of the Omer. We have a couple weeks left still for the Omer to unfold. There's still time to choose an intention, to set an intention, and to focus on doing just one thing during the Omer, whether it's repairing a relationship, whether it's self-care, whether it's learning a little more Judaism and a little more Torah. Pick one thing. The Torah is not specific what you should do, and make that the way in which you mark the passing of the Omer. I hope you're going to join everybody this evening in our synagogue at 6:15. We've got a lot of great things planned for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Shabbat Shalom.